Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back. Oh my gosh, it's been
How long has it been?
very long. Well, only a month. It's been a month, I feel.
Only a month.
Yeah. And clap.
I did already.
Oh, you already did.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, welcome back to Pass the Aisle.
And it's November. I think the last time we've been on here was the end of September.
Mm-hmm.
Because October was crazy for us. I would say many things have happened and influenced our lives within 1 month.
Yeah.
But let's start. Why it was busy.
Why did you want to do a podcast today?
Well, because it's been a while and I felt like I just needed to, share our life. And, October was a jam-packed month, as usual, every year.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always interesting every time October comes around because there's always something new.
Yeah.
And, just to start off, it was a busy month for us on the business side where I had to travel a lot. Like where I went was to the sand dunes, and that's about 3 hours away, so 6 hours round trip. And I had to do that every week. I mean, twice, which is half of October.
Yeah.
And then the following week, drove about 12 hours total to Yosemite. And then 1 week break, and then out to Catalina. So it was a little crazy. I felt I wasn't home. I felt like everything was very quick.
Yeah.
Where I wasn't able to settle and just have time to myself or time with us. So it was exhausting.
Yeah.
And then I went to have I was like, man, I should be taking care of myself. I mean, I was working out regularly, but I did get sick for 1 week within October.
Yeah,
so it kind of
sick.
set me back. But health is so important to both of us because you were also sick, and
I'm still a little sick.
and you're still a little sick and have bug bites and everything. But health is very important, and I've been diagnosed. Well, you've been telling me because thank goodness I have a wife that sleeps right next to me sometimes. But you did mention that I wasn't breathing in my sleep a while back, a long time ago. And I just ignored it. I'm like, yeah, I'm just fat. That's why. So I was like, all right, okay, I'll make a change. I'll start working out, lose some weight, right? And then my snoring was very serious way back in the day because
it was pretty bad back in the day.
Because my weight, right? I was a lot bigger, and I was just
working out.
Yeah, I wasn't working out. I was always about the business, always about hustling.
Yeah.
But forget that your health is important. So when we started to move to Chino, that's when I started to change everything, changing my lifestyle, changing my eating habits, or not eating as much. Sometimes I do try to control myself when we go out and stuff, but having the app MyFitnessPal really helps kind of keep me within the radar of 1,600 calories per day. But then it also motivates me to start burning calories in our home gym. So along with that, snoring looks like it's settled down. Sometimes it's still loud, but you're a light sleeper, so I get it that even one snore is about 60 to 70 decibels. It can wake up your partner.
Yeah,
right?
It scares me. I'm like...
Yeah. But alongside with that, snoring, what I've learned is snoring and sleep apnea are two different things, right?
Yeah.
I still, even though I lost weight, sleep apnea, I was still diagnosed with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I did take a sleep test by Lofta for those that do have sleep apnea or feel like you're not breathing at night. Definitely recommend.
Or if you feel tired, right?
Or you feel tired, yeah.
It's like, or you've slept 8 hours and you're still tired when you wake up. You're like, why? Maybe you're not breathing correctly. You have sleep apnea.
Yeah, sleep apnea, or you're driving in LA or commuting to work or something, and you're just super tired, right? why people always say, oh, Mondays, and I'm freaking tired. I don't feel refreshed when I wake up. You probably had interrupted sleep. Mm-hmm. And most times it's like you're not breathing in your deep sleep. And
they also call it sleep debt. So maybe it's not just the weekend that you didn't sleep well, but it's like the last 10 years. Or, you know what I mean? It's building up, and all these times that you haven't slept enough for you, you have a debt. You have a debt of sleep that you haven't, been able to fulfill.
Yeah.
So you're tired as hell.
Like, I get it, like, when you're a parent, right, and you have a newborn, and I get it. Debt. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You definitely have sleep debt. You're sleep deprived.
Yeah.
Right? I get that's totally different. That's not sleep apnea. But then still, take a sleep test. You never know, and I think it's very important, and it's cool. It's easy to place on, and you can do it straight from your home.
How much was everything?
It was like $189 if you're going to do it during the holidays. They have like a holiday
for the test.
Yeah, $189, okay. And you just wear a watch. You put this little sticky pad that kind of monitors if you snore. It kind of senses the vibration from your chest. So you place that on, and then you put like a pulse oximeter on your pinky to see your oxygen level throughout the night. And then they'll monitor that, and you just send it back to the lab. The doctor will monitor all your graphs and everything, and write up a prescription or write up your basically your analysis, and then send it to your sleep coach.
And you have to be prescribed to get a CPAP. That's what we found out too. Yeah, you can't just go and get one.
Yeah, if you go and get one, it can actually make your sleep apnea worse, because you don't know how much pressure of oxygen you need. Like,
it's very technical.
It's very technical, and one thing can really make your health even worse. So definitely get a sleep coach. That person really helps.
What does a sleep coach do?
So the sleep coach, after you're finished with your sleep test, right, and the doctor has prescribed, oh, you need this amount of pressure, you can alleviate this way. You have like 5 different options. So from what I remember, option 1 is get the CPAP, right? That's one way, treat it. Option 2 is surgery. So some people have large tonsils that they can actually do surgical removal of those tonsils.
And you won't snore?
And you won't snore. You won't. There's no blockage in your airway. But then it's more invasive, and it's not always guaranteed that it will actually work. And then number 3 is, lose weight, exercise.
But even skinny people have sleep apnea.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what age you are. You can just...
so there's no, thing that says you're going to have sleep apnea. It just depends on the person.
Yeah, it depends. It all depends on your jawline as well. So, and where you store fat, right? So if I store fat closer to the throat, where when I lay down and all that amount of weight around the throat, right?
You do store a lot here.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always poking it.
So when it's too heavy, and it just, when you're laying down, right? So now all that weight is pressing against your esophagus. So it blocks the airway, and then now that pressure air that's trying to force out through your mouth.
I'm snoring now because I catch myself.
Yeah.
I can hear
it. It's a part of aging, but just monitor yourself. I know it took me a while to get here because I'm pretty hard-headed, and I knew I didn't want to wear a freaking mask to sleep.
Yeah, you're having a hard time right now. Yeah.
Well, last night was a little better.
Yeah.
But I would say it's still sometimes difficult. The reason why is because, man, it's not normal anymore.
It's this thing right here on your face. Freaking, that predator thing?
Yeah. But it's cool. I feel a lot better. Yeah. I do wake up, early.
Well, I was able to sleep. Well, I woke up not because of you, but just because I had to pee or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it always takes me a while to get back to sleep. But that's the only reason why I woke up this time. So I didn't even hear you. It was late.
It's quiet.
Yeah.
But I just wake up pretty early now, and then I jam out with our dog, and I go for a run, and it's before I would wake up at 8 or 9 because I was like sleep deprived or whatever happened, right? So I was like, oh, let me sleep in.
Yeah, you are waking up early.
But then now I'm like waking up at 6:10 or around 6.
It's always a surprise. I'm like, what?
Yeah. And I'm ready. I was like, I'm ready.
Usually, you're not out of bed until like 9:30, 10. And I'm like, what's that guy doing up there?
And then and then my workouts, and then puts me back at like 12 p.m. So half the day is gone. So it's cool now. I'm now waking up a lot earlier, and I feel refreshed.
Yeah.
So I did test it out. I was like, does CPAP really work? So I slept one night without it, and I was back to square one. I was like back to where I was. Like, I woke up at 8:30. I'm like, man, okay. So it does work.
Yeah. I see. Well, that's good.
Yeah. So updates about our life. Today's our anniversary. And
anniversary.
Another update is
month-iversary.
Another update is we got a dog. And her name is Nikka. Nikka was a name of our favorite whiskey.
One of them.
Yeah. But Nikka fits, and her full name is Nikka Valley Vu. Because Valley.
Well, we basically, because whiskeys are, they kind of name them after the terroir. So like Glen Cairn or something.
Glenlivet
and all that. Yeah, it's about the valley, how the terrain is.
And it just rolls off. So I was like, cool. And she's really sweet. So we're doing a lot of basic training. She's also training us to be more patient. She's a different dog. She's definitely different from all the other dogs we ever owned. She's just very energetic, very laser focused when there's something in the way. Like today, she saw a rabbit, and she just like, she's a hunter. She's half a dachshund and a pit bull. So I would say the dachshund kicks in because of the hound.
The hound, And she has a little like independent fighter in her.
Yep.
She's built like a tank.
She's
a little
she's
tiny
crazy.
tank. But then I think she's such a good fit for us, and that we were finally in the right state of mind to own a pet correctly this time. I had a lot of stipulations, like the last video. We had to kind of revow to do this correctly, and there were moments like even we've only had her for 2 weeks, right, or something.
2 weeks.
In the last 2 weeks, we have been challenged already, right? But then what was so cool is that I think it's a really good timing that we've been able to like communicate a lot better to each other. And not only that, but not only call out each other on like, oh, we should do it like this, like correcting each other, but also forgiving each other for messing up. I think that was a big deal. Like that's the other side of the coin that I think we were forgetting for a long time too. Forgive and not bring up past things or whatever. And to like, you can make a note of it, just like a dog, like just the way that we training the dog, in that moment we correct it, but then after that, if they screw up or whatever, we're not making a tally of how many times they fucked up. And the same thing, we would do it with each other. So I think that's a big reason why like we were not good pet owners before, because we weren't really good with each other too. It was a clear reflection of how we treat each other and how we would treat others. And of course it would go into our dogs sometimes into the worst form, because they're not human. And when you're mad and frustrated, or you have no patience at all anymore, you have zero compassion, you don't understand, you don't even want to open to understand. And that makes me feel so sad when I think about what happened before. And that's why it's so powerful now that we get a second chance with Nikka. So it's like, oh man, that's so cool, because really she did bring a lot of, this is a CPAP machine. A joy back into our home, and also just, I think, helping me personally become better at forgiving, better at letting things go, or better at being more patient and moving on too. Like that's, for me personally, that's been one of the biggest lessons that I've like been more aware about in me, and that I could even tell you like, oh, like catch each other on behaviors.
Yeah.
And then not think too hard about it before I'd be like, oh man, like we already fucked up. Does that mean we're not gonna make it? Like I would think very negatively in those moments. But then like a dog, it's like they messed up, boo, ball again. Like, they just move on.
Yeah.
Like an animal, right? Like a lot of animals do that. They just shake off whatever bad happened to them as long as it's not super traumatizing, and they just move on with their life. Like,
yeah,
they don't keep tally, they don't keep score, they love you unconditionally, all that stuff. So it's been really nice to have her here, and every day we are learning like to be more patient, to be more compassionate and forgiving and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think last month I read about the INFP, in which that's your personality type, and
you read some kind of disturbing things, but I thought they're very, very true.
Yeah, they're very true, and I would say, so I get you.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
like letting go is very hard for you,
whereas
letting go to other people or myself with different personality type is it's a lot easier. But a person that needs emotional support, who pays attention to everything you say, that takes every word to heart, which is yourself, right? Sometimes need to realize, it's hard for you to let go if there's like a negative impact or a negative event that you experienced. Or even a slight negativity can ruin your entire day easily.
Very easily. But I'm so aware of that, and I'm also like, some other people will ask me, like you ask me, can I just be me? My mom asked me that. Can I just be me? Allow me to fail. Allow me to act this way or whatever. And I also was like, well, then I should have the right to ask that too. Like if this is my personality type, I don't live by it like it's my Bible, right? Like, oh, it says I'm this, so it's this, right? But then I also to ask like, if this is how I am, then I must also ask you to accept me for this. But I can only lead that by like when you want to eat a lot, or when you want to, you have a certain way how you like to sleep. All of that is you. I'm really just like, I'm just happy to even be here. Like I would really just rather sleep in our bed together. But then if you snore, I have to leave. Right. So in that realm, in a lot of realms, I let you be you. So in a way, like, I think it's also fair or okay for me to ask others for me to be me too. Yeah. And they say it's like the rarest personality type in the world. I was like, whoa.
It's like 6%.
Crazy. No, it was 4.
4, yeah. Or something around there. Like it's low.
Yeah, it's low as hell.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
But on the other note, INFP, since they are rare, they are great at talking. They are great at expressing themselves, and they do touch people in a certain way that others can't, like with their words and with their writing.
I touch you.
Yeah. That's why all this time I always said from the get-go, you're a strong writer, but the way that you write is very emotional, and you tie it very psychological with those words where when you read it, everything goes well and people remember it. Which is great.
Thanks. Yeah.
So along with that exciting news is that finally your roaster is here.
Fuck's sake.
It took about a month and a half, right?
Yeah.
It would have taken a month if the delivery person was on point.
It's all good. I planned for it. I told everybody who did make pre-order and everything, and myself, like, I'm probably not going to be roasting until November.
Yeah.
And it's turning out to be that way, so that's fine. So we're right on schedule in terms of big picture. I'm like a big picture thinker, because otherwise I would go crazy. You're like a micro thinker sometimes. Most of the time, you're a micro thinker. So it's good. We good balance.
Yeah.
But
it helps me though.
Yeah.
And
you help me think about the nitty gritty. I'm like, I was like, oh, this is big picture. I always think big picture, big, like very, very macro.
Yeah, I think micro because detailed. I know the micro will impact the macro. Mm-hmm. Because I rather fix the small stuff before it explodes.
Yeah, and I'm lazy about it, honestly. I'm very lazy about it. I can do that. I know it's good for me. I know, like, there's always, like, a thing right here on my shoulder, like, you better organize this because it's going to be a shit show trying to find it later. Like, even the way that I handle how I make all this content, it's a shit show. I told Bryan that. He's like, and that's just how I am. That's my personality. I'm very big picture. Like, if I can find it, because I know, say in post, I'm going to put it together this way, whatever. And I don't think about the little nitty gritty thing. But in the end, it's so distracting, that sound.
You can close it.
In the end, like you having that micro sense is teaching me to slow down.
Yeah.
I think because I'm a big picture thinker, it makes me move very quickly, which is a pro, but it's also can be a con in that you will make mistakes like I did.
Just skipping steps, yeah.
Skipping steps and being impatient. Or I like to move
but
quickly.
I do, I mean, alongside with micro, I am in some ways like you where I do go like
to the clouds.
The cloud.
Then you're a major big thinker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, I want to make this crazy amount, or I want to live here.
Yeah, things like that. A dreamer. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more like big picture and like logistically, how does it work, right? Logistically, but you're big picture in like dreams and aspirations.
But you are here now and you got the roaster of your dreams, so.
Yes, I did. It's
so
beautiful.
So what do you think? Like, what's your future and what you foresee yourself with this?
Well, so I was telling you in the car, like, you kind of asked a similar question.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know I have the potential to do X, Y, and Z with it, and to the moon and back and stuff like that. And I'm very excited for that. I do allow myself in my own time to think about being a master roaster.
Are you going to be micro with this?
Micro with it? How do you mean?
Like, think micro, like know the ins and outs, take your time. Like,
oh, yes.
Yeah,
I
big picture.
I was like that with the hot top.
Okay.
And in doing so, I really felt in a very short amount of time, I had outgrown it.
Yeah.
Because in a micro level, I had like mastered how to do this machine. But I couldn't really take it to the next level with that machine alone because of its limitations and everything, to do other sort of beans like, I don't know, something crazy like decaf or something like honey processed coffee and shit like that, right? Mm-hmm. So all that stuff you can't really do. You can't step up to that level because you don't have a trier, because you don't have gas at your disposal, because you don't have a sample size that it's so small. You can't really. It's just on another level. Mm-hmm. It's on that home roasting level, and it's not gonna ever exceed that.
Yeah.
Realistically, if you don't upgrade to a better machine or a machine that can, do what you need it to do.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, cool. Like, I'm gonna do the same shit, but with this roaster now, and there's so much more to learn. Like, the pool of knowledge for that hot top was pretty grand for the average person. Mm-hmm. But then I don't know, like with me, because I became obsessed with it for that little short amount of time, like I did. I feel like I mastered that pool to an extent. I don't know. That could be subjective. But now we're in here. We're in the ocean.
Yeah.
So this ocean, I'm not going to master it for some time. And that's a great thing because it gives me something to shoot for always.
Yeah.
It's always the journey to the perfect bean and everything.
This is a tool that just like the DSLRs, they last a long time.
So much with the DSLR, right? Even the Mark IV, you can do so much. But do you use all of the functions? No, right?
Yeah.
So same thing is like I know the potential at which we can go with this type of machine, business things and just passion things, just knowledge things and stuff like that. But I'm purposely keeping my world very small. And I was telling you, I'm moving through these kind of like rings of knowledge. Mm-hmm. Right now, my world is very small. I just got it. Yeah. I just learned how to like put up the venting and just to be satisfied and very present with that. These little steps, tiny baby steps, just getting it here, the venting, nothing fit, of course. So of course I'm paying attention to that, and just like being there with that, being present with that. And now we're doing the seasoning roast tomorrow.
And knowing that along with the seasoning roast, knowing that your propane tank, what its life expectancy
all that
is.
Stuff, right?
Yeah, you have to kind of mark how many times you use or how long you use, and how how long you used it.
I didn't even think about that. Mark it, right?
Yeah,
so,
you have to
you're
keep
thinking
a log.
About the micro things of it. That's why I asked you to be there to be a helping hand, and we're not going to record it because I really want to pay attention and be present.
Yeah.
But after
still,
that,
I mean,
I'm
the
going.
propane tank is what turns on the machine, and that's what fuels the beans, right? So you always want to make sure the main source is
and safety, number one.
Yeah, safety.
I want to really have a good understanding of what safety protocol is in case shit like hits the fan or whatever.
You got the fire extinguisher. You got the water bottle thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have a checklist for me, so I'm going to print that out. I'm going to watch the seasoning roast video before I get online with the company and all that stuff. So I'm just keeping my world very small. I'm trying to be very patient. I'm not trying to get too excited because it would be. It wouldn't be in my favor for one thing, because I know I really need to just get excited about safety, get excited about basic shit, because if I don't master that, I can't move on to the next level. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be an irresponsible roaster, especially I'm at home, like we're in our home, so I have to be very responsible. I have to be very conscious about what's going on. I can't get too hyped up.
Yeah, safety is...
all that's going to come later,
Yeah, safety is a big thing.
It's a big thing. So I'm not taking it lightly, and that's why I'm not too like crazy excited. Like, of course I'm excited, but I'm not thinking about that really yet. I'm not thinking.
There's
about
a lot.
my
You don't want
to
to fill your brain with a lot of things, or else you will go down that path.
I don't want to get lost in the clouds. I'm here on the ground. I'm like, does this switch work? What does this switch do? All these little things that I have no idea,
It's very similar to anything that's new. Like the first batch of soap that I made, the coffee espresso one, I was scared as hell. I was like, I'm handling lye. I don't want this shit to burn my fingers or something, right? And then all of a sudden, I just went down that road. Yeah. And I skipped steps. I went to the most master type soap, because I thought after making one at someone's home that I was going to be great at it. But well, I learned.
I noticed that, but you got to go through your own journey with your soap. That's why I don't say shit.
So number 2 is good.
Yeah.
It's not perfect, but it was good. It was usable. Mm-hmm. And then number 3 is even better.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool.
Yeah.
And I'm just slowly, those little minute changes really makes a big difference. Mm-hmm. And the same thing for your roast. Taking small steps, not overthinking things, not thinking you're going to fail or else you'll go down that path.
I'm just here. I'm just like, what is this switch?
Yeah, what is this
Nothing
switch?
else exists beyond this switch, as I move through each step, and that I don't get disappointed too, because I did see that in you and the first thing that you made, and then it didn't turn out, of course, as what you planned. Right, and you're like, I totally don't know what this word means. I don't know what this means, and they're using jargon and language that they just say it, but I have no idea what you mean. Yeah,
the thing that I notice in myself is the book is in front of me, right?
Yeah.
But I don't read it until I make mistakes.
Oh.
I'm like that type of learner.
Yeah.
I was like,
that type of learner.
Let's just get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
And then read the book.
Yeah.
Because I don't know,
male of you.
Like reading the book right first it bores me to death that I don't, or it fills my head with a lot of stuff, and I feel like I can't even touch these items. Mm-hmm. So I'd rather touch them, and then if I fail, then read the book, because then it will make more sense. But that's great that you read everything, and I mean that your learning process is a lot cleaner than mine.
I'm opposite.
Yeah, which is great because then you're well prepared. So and then you remember, based on what you read, when you're in the process, you remember, you're applying your knowledge. And that's why nursing never worked out for me, because I'm like, let's go in.
That fucking book.
Let's just go in.
Well, are you learning that maybe you should read now a little bit first?
No, I still prefer getting my hands dirty. Yeah.
But it's frustrating when you involve me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I have to deal with your unpreparedness. For example, the dog training. I was doing so much research, and I was starting to feel kind of negative about it, because I'm like, why am I the only one researching and then I have to teach you? It's like our relationship. And I was like, I don't want to feel like this again.
Yeah.
So I would be like, there was a moment where I almost braked, and I was telling Jenna, I was like, should we go return this dog? Because it's, again, my partner's not supporting me again.
Yeah.
It's just all up to me to learn first and teach him, but you're not really taking in the theory or taking in the knowledge.
Yeah.
And only in the moment when you're, say, frustrated or angry, now you want to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
So that's super frustrating for me. You can do that on your own all you like, but with things that we do together, or if you ask me to help you or participate, like, it can't be one-sided. Yeah. I tell you that right now, because I won't participate in that. I'll just be like, oh, okay, well, this is how I'm going to raise the dog, or this is how I'm going to make coffee, or this is how whatever. And then what ends up happening is that inadvertently you drive a wedge between us, because you don't want to be on board, and you're just like, I don't give a fuck, I'm just going to do it and mess up and get disappointed and then drag everyone down with me. That doesn't make sense. It's not fair to me, you know. And then I have to deal with, okay, I must now forgive this act.
I see.
This conscious act to not pay attention, or this conscious act to or behavior not to help or prepare. I'm not saying you have to be 100% prepared or 100% master, but to have just the attitude of like, yes, let's learn together at the same page, you know. That way nobody's disappointed in the end. Yeah. And expectations are addressed. Like, I hate being disappointed. That's why I'm the way I am too, because one more time I'm disappointed because you continue to choose that path.
I see.
See? So I was like, so how will I respond is like, I just tell you like this, and I'm like, and it's up to me to not hold on to this, which I'm not, now that I'm aware. And then next time it's just like, oh, remember, you're supposed to prepare yourself, man.
Yeah. But I mean, I do my own education, but it seems like we come across similar sources anyways.
Yeah. I mean, we search on the same search engine. But yeah, I just, you know, I want you to realize that when you do that, it's a selfish thing, you know, and that if you're asking me to participate, or if it's something that we do together, that we should be sort of on the same page, at least. Not like, oh, I'm over here, you're over there, and then we're only getting half of the story, or you're getting half of the info. Yeah. Like if I read the whole article and I just told you the one thing, so you're not really comprehending the whole thing, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess the only thing that probably that wasn't addressed is the rules that you wrote, right? But it was written by you. It wasn't written by us. You know, you just establish your own rules.
Well, that's my thing. It's like, do I have to lead again? That's me assuming that you're not going to be there.
But that's where the assuming part was probably...
That's my bad. So to me, it's like, I already know that, okay, so I just have to remind Chi. And that's all it is. It's a reminder. It's not me lecturing. It's not me teaching, training, or anything like that. It's just reminding Chi, hey, you need to help me. And I feel like you picked up on it. And I was like, cool. So... like the one time when you walked away, right? We were really angry, upset. Yeah. And I was like, oh, he left me again. He quit again on me, right? That's how I felt that time. And then, and that's why that night I was just like, shut up. I shut down. Yeah. You know how a dog can shut down? Like I shut down. Yeah. I was like, I don't know what to do with these feelings. And I was like, well, I can't go back to the way how we used to do it. Yeah. So the next morning, I'm just going to be, forgive it. It just happens, you know, like we're all human, and you got impatient and it was just too much at that time. And
at the same time, it would have been better. I'd rather not
Well, that's why we have tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
We had the next day. We had the next.
Well, I was just saying, like, within that time, I was already thinking that this dog doesn't want to see my energy.
Oh, I see.
And
so
I was like,
so
I'd rather walk
yourself.
away. Yeah, I'd rather walk away
fine.
before.
But you didn't say anything to me. You just straight up walked away. I was like, oh, okay, so.
Well, you already kind of know, like, how we are. Like, we need
but you
space.
leave me to assume, you know?
Yeah.
So when I assume the worst. You also do the same thing. You assume the worst. So we're really similar like that. But then the next day, it was so funny because I didn't look at my phone or anything like that. But when I look at my phone the next morning, you're like, I got Nikka these probiotics. I know that's your way of like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm here. I'm ready to do again. I'm ready to try again.
Yeah.
That's what it said to me. Was that true?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
no, but I was like researching that now. I'm like, I was very frustrated.
Yeah, you were very frustrated, but you still were like, what can I do? Right. So I like that attitude where it's like, yeah, you were frustrated. Yeah, you walked away in the moment, but your next steps were the most important, which was like, I'm still here. I'm still going to help. I'm still trying to learn. And that's all we're doing is we're trying to learn and be better. We can't just be better 100% overnight, you know, that just because we have this dog, you know, we are going to be challenged and she's doing that. But I think we're doing so much better. And it makes me feel really like super happy because like she does bring a lot of joy back into the home. Mm-hmm. And then just between you and I, it's like, oh, this is nice. You know, like finally we have like our little family back.
Yeah.
Where I felt a little bit broken after I gave up Caden because I had cut it off. I was like, he's not getting along with you. You don't really like it. Like nobody likes this guy. I'm the only one trying. I don't like this guy right now.
You didn't like him at the end.
I hated it. Well, I hated who I had become.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is toxic.
Yeah.
So when I made that decision and it was like a breakup, it was a toxic relationship because that's what it is. You have this relationship with the dog.
Yeah.
I was like, that's it. It's like a bad relationship. You need to cut this off. Mm-hmm. Go do and be your best self with somebody else. I need to do that. I need to heal. We need to heal. Yeah. And maybe if we do that, maybe we can do this again. We can try again. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, just really grateful that we were able to do it. And when we were talking about it, it was like, we eliminated all of the toxic things. Like we're not doing this for Instagram. We're not doing this for how pretty it is, mm-hmm. how the dog is, or how designer breed it is. I was like, no to all of that shit. Cause that's all the stuff that kind of like, I think poisoned the relationships before. Yeah. And just to have a real understanding of like, we need a dog that matches us together, not just, oh, for you or for me. Because mm-hmm. that was the shit with Caden or Cooper and Peanut. It's like, this is your dog. You take care of it. And that's why I felt so lonely and so like one-sided on both sides. Yeah. It's like now, hey, we're married. You got my back, right? Because I'm going to fuck up. You got my back. And then that means I have to get your back, right? Yeah. Because you're going to fuck up. And we have to keep giving each other infinite chances. And we have to extend that to our pet now because the dog is going to fuck up sometimes. Mm. And we have to give it infinite chances because why? We love it, right? It's a part of our family. Can't just treat it like, oh, you're not cool anymore. Yeah. Oh, you're not pretty anymore. Whatever. So those were the big things the big stipulations that I think we were able to finally heal and say, yes, we're going to do it the right way. And then she showed up. Mm-hmm. She wasn't expensive to adopt. Yeah. You know, she had the right temperament. I feel like she picked us out of all of them because when we walked into the shelter, every dog's barking their face off except for her, like, hello. And she'd been in there for a long time. So she was kind of like at a discount too, right? Like the normal rate is $250. She was $150-ish. So I feel like we really gotta.
But she's pretty patient, like right now.
And she's patient with us. Yeah. You know?
Like this is perfect. Like this has been 2 weeks.
She matches us. She matches how we work and how we live and your energy and my energy at the same time. She can be very crazy, energetic, even aggressive. That's you. She can be very calm and loving and timid almost and nervous sometimes too. That's me. Yeah. So it's like, wow, she's really like a match for us. Yeah. And it's been really cool these last 2 weeks. Yeah.
But another update is we took initiative, and Megan found you found.
I'm right here.
I know. That was my professional side coming out.
You should just embrace it. You're the most professional speaker ever.
You found a creative content, a creator, content creator.
I know who made this title.
Content creator for our company, and his name is Bryan.
Yeah, welcome, Bryan.
Which everyone will meet soon. So,
when he passes probation.
But if you haven't noticed, every content that has been put out on IG Stories in the past 2 weeks was created by him.
Yeah.
With the help of you training him.
Yeah.
So it's trekking away. So this is what we envision at this level now, and everything is falling into place by the beginning of 2020. I feel is already a big year. Everyone in their mindset knows it's going to be a big year.
Yeah. Even the couples.
I'm like, 2020 is going to be the most busiest year since, I don't know, 2000. I'm not sure. It's a decade.
But it's cool to hear that from you too, because me finally being full time with this and being really in the weeds of the business and everything now. So it's like you're like, wow, we've never booked this much before the year's end. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, because we're working together, you know.
But at the same time, like the company has made you a full employee. And then Bryan, if you kind of think about it, is our third, which.
He'll get there.
He'll get there. But in my mindset, it's like I never envisioned, at first it was just me, and then it's cool. So, like whatever we're doing, it's working.
Yeah. It's been really cool. So since you're that micro thinker, right? You think about how much is this person? How can I like afford it? Like the little things. Yeah. And I'm like, we can do it. We're doing so well. Yeah. And the time and energy and money spent in this employee is just going to make us grow more. Yeah.
I mean, before there was a lot of fear, right? We had too many expenses. So naturally I felt, man, there's too many expenses.
And you're in the weeds of it. You see the numbers.
I see
everything. I don't see the numbers so much like as you do. So of course it's easier for me to just be like,
but to be smart. Yeah. Check your numbers.
Of course.
Yeah, make sure you can afford it, and you're not, just making a decision thinking that, it's going to benefit all the time. So,
well, I rely on you to tell me a hard no or a hard yes, with the numbers,
Well, I know this is a risk, whatever you call it, like you said. But to me, it's always a risk.
Well, you think of it as risk, and risk is just a word, honestly.
Yeah, risk is always a word.
That's your perspective.
Yeah. My perspective with the word risk will equal benefit. So you're taking that risk because you want more benefits.
It's asset versus liability, right? Yeah. That's all it is.
It's not a liability, right?
No, he's an asset. Yeah.
It's an asset
that you have to pay for.
which is a risk, which also creates benefits.
Yeah.
So,
and it's a little bit bigger risk, which gives bigger reward.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. And let's just see what how things go.
Well, that's it. That's all we can really do. But as long as to me, it's kind of reining you back into being present about.
It is making me more present.
What's going on right now?
It's actually driving me to another level where I'm now more like, all right, in starvation mode again, right?
For no reason. We're not
for no reason, but I just love it, right? It's the adrenaline rush to create another
That's your
content.
Motivation. That's your carrot. Yeah, that's your personal carrot.
So now we're jumping on TikTok, so I'm ready. And actually, so we'll be collaborating with our brother, Steven, who is a TikTok famous right now. With 3 million views. Holy crap, that's a lot. But he's doing really well. He found his voice, I felt, and we're just collaborating on it's a funny platform. Yeah. It's a platform to show a different side of you other than the business.
I wonder how you'll let go.
Yeah. I think I'm going to be that person again that made videos back in the day.
Yeah, I'm wondering where he went.
That's going to come back because I'm already producing, like writing out funny skits.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
But I just want to do that. I just want to create funny shit.
Good, let go, man.
Yeah. I felt like the wedding was so like confined, so elegant, so freaking not dirty, you know? Like I just want funny, just make people laugh without like, you know, getting offended. Stop being sensitive, right? I felt the world was so sensitive in the wedding world. Just
I know it still is.
And it still is,
and now the rest of the world is too.
And I just want to break it. And I feel so like it's in me, right? I just want to freaking break it. So when I talk to Qual, I talk to our, just mainly Qual, I'm like, I'm able to be real with that dude. Yeah. I make him not sensitive. I like poke fun at him because he's so damn sensitive sometimes. But it brings it out in me, you know, like this world just needs to be more tough, I feel. Yeah.
That is true. Yeah.
It drives me nuts that it's not tough.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where it all went.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's probably just you know, as the world turns, it's like it's going into like it's you know, had its Puritan phase.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of going back to that in a way. It's kind of weird. And then I don't know, it likes to teeter on extremes a lot.
Like, are you talking about
like no sex, like very
that
pilgrim, that kind of attitude.
Like 1950s where it's like the American dream.
Maybe
Where everything was all
American
polished.
Dream, but just like everything is
Utopian.
so prim and proper and politically correct.
Huh, I see.
And people are getting offended. Like we saw the Joker, right? And I was reading all these articles before even seeing it. Like, oh, this is dangerous and blah blah blah. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
The Sopranos, The Godfather, all these very, very violent movies. There Will Be Blood, you know, like all these like Oscar-winning violent movies, and they're like afraid of the Joker movie.
Yeah.
Very
Shut
weird.
up.
Very weird. Like why?
All these guys, man.
In a way, you
grow
know,
up, man.
The reviewing culture. We're in a reviewing culture, right?
Yeah.
Yelp, Rotten Tomatoes and shit like this. And then all of even the shows that I watch that review movies now, like they don't, you know, no movie was ever reviewed to the scrutiny and to the level that it is now. And it's like we're looking for something to poke and be offended by and all these things, and it's getting a little old.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the movie. It's fiction.
Yeah.
It's fiction.
Well, just enjoy life and all the experiences, and nothing needs a review. You know,
and the message from the Joker was so telling. Like, just a very powerful movie, right? Like, nobody's decent to each other anymore, especially online, right? There's a very, it's so strong the way people can be so hateful because they're behind the screen.
Yeah,
you know, and then try to rally everybody behind them and be like, oh, let's go attack this, or let's destroy this, or let's cancel this, or let's, you know, make this shit viral and get this person fired. And it's like, holy crap. When these same people, you know, are not saints. Yeah. You know, they've probably done some shit.
Anyways, it's too sensitive.
It's silly. But I think it's coming where, you know, we're going to have this, we're experiencing this very extreme. Yeah. And it's going to go right back down to whatever, like, you know.
Yeah, right back down to another Eminem, another Dr. Dre.
Something, yeah. Somebody will, you know, the culture will respond. Yeah. And it'll be in the other direction. It'll be like, oh, this is too crazy.
Now it's too chaotic.
Now it's too free. Now there's the whole, like, another sexual revolution again. Yeah. You know, the same shit.
All right. So, whatever. Let's just live life.
Yeah, people just need to let go.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, the wedding industry, no, I'm not sure. I really don't know. Like,
there's so many things I want to talk about in the wedding industry.
Like, the wedding can stay within weddings. I feel like my TikTok will just be me, like I just enjoy this outlet of just making these funny videos. You don't have to relate it to weddings. You know, like I can make 2 separate accounts maybe, you know, like, yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe
that way I can just like go crazy.
I think if you were to do it all together, you'd be like, oh,
they're like, what type?
Somebody could see this and not hire me or something.
Yeah,
because that's always the ultimate fear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely, like, I have an outlet. I do all my shit on my YouTube, and I'm like, I produce long ass videos where I'm just talking about something emotional always.
Yeah.
Right. And like I have that outlet.
Yeah.
So that'd be great if you have that too, because I don't exactly, like, we don't have a lot of friends that we talk to all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really do that kind of thing. Like, we make content.
Yeah.
Or we talk to each other. I like to make content. So I think it'd be great for you to have your own personal TikTok and then a company TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll think of something.
Which Bryan can just run. Or like, just do anything you want.
We'll still make TikTok for KLV. I do have ideas of clever ideas. You know, like I was just working.
Or you can have a different screen name and not be like Kevin Levu, but maybe a different screen name that it won't be so tied to your company.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
Then you'll have no limit, right?
Yeah. But like one of my ideas was to bash on the cell phone versus a professional camera, right?
That's easy.
So, but in a funny way.
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, and shooting with it, and then like use our old iPhone, your old iPhone, freaking hammer it down. Yeah.
Not mine.
Oh, okay.
Get an Android and hammer
Something,
that one.
Yeah. I'll actually ask Qual if he has any fake ones. Yeah.
Yeah, ask the green bubble.
But cool. Yeah, thank you guys for chiming in. I hope that was a lot of updates.
It was a lot of
on our past month of life.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay tuned. We do have a busy November because it is going to be the last month of wedding season for us before we get to relax in December. Yeah, I feel like whatever comes our way will come our way. But for right now, just enjoy this quietness and
we're having awesome weather right now.
Yeah, amazing weather.
I mean, here in Chino is.
So I don't want to waste it. So
So bye.
All right. Thank you guys.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.